The old man's camp was as hidden as his nomadic Chidgalar members could make it. Pretty damn well hidden. The totemic magic they used to do the hiding was a pain in the ass to maintain, really. Just a matter of time until one of the old man's round pegs popped out of its square hole, so he had guards posted and kept the Islite as sound asleep as he could manage. As it turned out, it wasn't a hungry Elenmark who couldn't be convinced fresh bamboo was not to be found in the desert. It wasn't a Kluxman who just had to dunk himself in the relentless afternoon heat. Not one of their Kevprey breaking into high-pitched squeals of delight. Not one of the Berlani using a barge polar as target practice. His Finnish friends remained loyal. The Simon Dons never once even tried to kill each other. Nope. It was real simple. Quentin was looking for them. She could guess what was going to happen, and she pretty much knew they'd be somewhere along this stretch of river. Didn't just sick her dead on where she figured the adventurers were probably camped. Nope. Took her time. Got organized. Waited for the boost she'd need, that little bump. You could argue that leaving her lieutenant to die wasn't really a sacrifice. After all, it filled her with raw power. On the other hand, if leaving her lieutenant to die wasn't a sacrifice, she wouldn't have received the raw power. She was, in fact, vaguely concerned by the rush of few. But not concerned enough to falter, not after getting this close, not feeling this potent. Finding the old man's camp was as simple as waiting for the Motet. She was pretty sure one would show it did. They were like that. Anywhere magic gets tossed around at a high enough level, a Motet will show up. There were always 2 or 3 around the palace. Quentin had never personally drawn one before, but she had never been this juiced, and the old man would have his casters more than one, she assumed. More than enough to make this dangerous, plenty enough to make it interesting. And, sure enough, a Motet thought so too. It wandered in from somewhere upstream, probably set out walking a dozen weeks ago, somehow knowing it would get here in time, just in time. She curled her lips into a smirk and took in the creature's trajectory. The oversized lizard feet pointed just so, the featureless black orb where a head ought to be swinging this way and that, but always centered just so, just so. She pointed, her archers trotted forward, her dead ran silent across the sand in what remained of their burial shrouds. Emmonsdeuter would be coming, but Quentin had plenty of time to kill.